Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to Brownlow Books. This week's book review is one that was recommended to me by a viewer on my video Melissa by Alex Gino, and it pains me to say that I did not enjoy it. Yeah, I am not the biggest fan, but the book was Gracefully, Grayson by Amy Polonsky. We're following Grayson, a 6th grader who presents as a boy but is actually a girl. They try out for the school play as the female lead, and they get it. We then follow the, ensuing chaos. So, first things first, this book is published in 2014. I want to get that out right up front because the discussions in 2014 and 2024 are vastly different when it comes to trans rights and what children can and cannot be, right? Vastly different. So that's the first thing I want to put out there. Second, the only pronoun ever really used for Grayson in this book are he, his. So there is mention of like a she, her, but it's very much when he's being the character that he is in the play. And the only other place that referred to as she is in the acknowledgments by the author. So it's kind of a mess of pronouns, and I'm just gonna kind of use them all. It's very... We'll get to why that later. So, I do want to say, when I started reading this book, I was enjoying it. I truly was. And then, little things started being chipped away and picked at until the point that all that was left in this book was sadness. It is just sad. Everywhere is sad. So, I didn't love all of it together as a whole. There's moments I liked. But as a whole, I'm kind of like... Part of that is because I felt like I was just supposed to pity Grayson. I mean, his parents died in a car accident when he was 4, so he was sent to live with his aunt and uncle that he didn't really know in another city. Near the beginning of the book, his grandmother dies. He's bullied by his cousin and his cousin's friends and other boys at school. He, hasn't had a friend in, 4 years, and then this new girl shows up, and she's like, oh, I'll be friends with this weird kid, whatever, and then he's, too weird, and so she ditches him, almost immediately. I was really hoping that would come back around, and she would be like, oh, I was wrong, I'm sorry, and it doesn't happen, so don't hope for it. His aunt is a fucking monster. This person who's forced to care for him and he has to live with, she's a fucking monster. No redeeming in that aunt. None. The school's favorite teacher, his favorite teacher, by the end of the book has to leave after casting Grayson as the female lead in the play. And he has to leave his job because of Grayson. So it's just all around, pity this poor child is the vibe that I get from the book, right? So it's not the greatest. I don't love that for, an 11-year-old kid. I felt like there was some really easy sort of plot things thrown in that wouldn't necessarily otherwise make sense. Grayson has this revelation of being a girl while reading letters that his grandma had saved that had come from his mom. By the way, pink letter inside a blue envelope. Real obvious symbolism, right? But yeah, his mom's saying to his grandma, he's a girl, he knows he's a girl, we're fine with this, and the grandmother's like, yeah, let him be who he wants to be, kind of thing, right? And you're like, okay, great. But it was just kind of the weird way this, revelation came about, because, he was 4 when his parents died, and when he moved with his aunt and uncle, he was presenting as a girl, I'm a girl, kind of thing, and his fucking monster of an aunt was like, well, if you want your cousin and other kids to stop bullying you, you need to be a boy, and, It's like, how does he just forget? How does he just forget that, you know, he's a girl? It's very odd. It's an odd point in this book that I just don't fully understand how that came to be. You read a letter from your mom to your grandma, and whoopsie doodle, I forgot I was a girl. I'm not sure how that one goes about. There was a lot of other symbolism as well as, you know, pink letter inside a blue envelope. Talks about like light and dark, black and white a lot. And, you know, in the middle, gray. It was very fair. I'm like, this is middle grade, I get it. But it was just like very kind of obvious symbolism all through the book of this kind of thing. And I just sometimes had a hard time taking those bits a little too seriously. It just felt obvious even for middle grade. What feels weird about it is it's like it can't actually decide who it's written for, whether it's written for middle grade kids or their parents. So there's a little bit of like, it feels like it's written for parents to like understand their kids and like understand maybe kids that are in their kids' classes kind of thing. Or if it's like meant to be there for like a middle grade to kind of like show empathy to other kids who are not the same as them, except that no one in this book except for the teacher and like one parent really shows empathy towards Grayson. And so it's just kind of, you're trying to do something and you're not. Who is this written for? I don't know. So there's that. It felt kind of weird in like that space. There was a line in it about a play has to fall apart before it comes together. And as a former theater kid, yeah. But I felt like they were foreshadowing for like things to work out and be nice at the end of this, and it did fucking not. I felt like I was promised a happy ending with that, and I did not get one. Now, some people might see it as a happy ending. I certainly did not see it as a happy ending. No. But again, I go back to the context of 2014. That's what I had to keep going back to in this. I was like, okay, it was 2014. It was 2014. It was 2014. I remember 2014. Yeah, I remember pre-Trump time and I miss it. So, I hate all of the adults in this book. Even the ones that I kind of like, I kind of hate. There's like one adult that I don't hate, and it's like one of the girls in the play. Her mom is doing the costumes, and so she makes this like golden gown for Grayson to represent his character, and like puts it on and feels amazing, and she's just like, oh, you had a growth spurt, like you're taller now, like look at that, cool. Like it's nothing to her. It's like, it's a costume, it's a kid, and then like invites the kid with them to have like dinner that night, and like just treated Grayson like Grayson was Grayson. Not a kid causing chaos in this fucking school amongst the school board and the parents and all the students, you know? So it was kind of like, I love this parent. But like even Finn, at the beginning of the book, I was like, I like Finn. This is like the fave teacher. Do they outright say that he's gay? I forget. Big implication that he's gay. And so like at the beginning of the book, I love him. Like he sees Grayson. He's like, Grayson is dealing with something and I want to help him figure it out kind of thing. And so when Grayson goes to, you know, try out for the play and Finn is casting it and Finn goes, oh, you want to play the girl? Okay, well, I'm going to talk to your aunt and uncle, your guardians, right? And we'll figure it out. And so he does cast him, which causes the chaos, right? But yeah, Finn is kind of amazing until a point. And then Finn fucks off with just like this fucking nothing note left for Grayson. And it's just, it really fucking bothered me. And I think the reason it bothered me is because it is absolutely something that would happen in a school. You could have the favorite teacher that everyone freaking loves, and then like one teacher, like one student's parent, guardian, goes and complains about that teacher, and boom, teacher's gone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. His aunt is a fucking monster. But that also lead to more bullying from the other kids who are like, oh, did he touch you? And I'm like, wow, we have kids bullying each other for maybe having an adult do something not good to them. I was like, this is a weird fucking book, y'all. I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, I hate most of the friggin' adults in this book. So that kind of leads into the rating of this book. It has 7,247 ratings on Goodreads, and they work out to 4.1 stars. That's a good rating. I can't deny that. That's a good rating. There was definitely a few people out there feeling like me where I was like, I'm not 100% in love with this book. I would give it a low rating, but like, also for the amount of things that have been available to kids this age to read and identify with, you can't deny that. There were teachers making comments that like they have read it in their classrooms and it has opened up new conversations that they weren't having before, and the kids seem to connect with it and like it. And so like, I'm not denying that it is a useful book. I'm saying this book frustrated me, and I didn't love it for the reasons that I laid out. Just, god awful parents and adults everywhere, students bullying, and like, it's not just bullying. At one point, his cousin's friends, along with his cousin, are like talking to Grayson in a hallway and being kind of like threatening, and Grayson turns and runs, but they catch up to them. And so it was the two kids, not his cousin. Like, his cousin kind of like walked the other way and just like turned his back or whatever. And then these two kids threw him down the fucking stairs. And like, he broke his arm and probably had a fucking concussion, but nowhere did it say that he checked him for a concussion, and it made me quite concerned about the medical system, but that's aside. But yeah, it's like the day of the play and they throw him down the stairs and he breaks his arm. And it's just kind of like, these kids got suspended for a week and moved to another class. And I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, this book is wholly frustrating, and like, the non-happy of anything by the end of it just makes me like really upset with it. Like, you've promised me something you should follow through, but then it's like, maybe that's the lesson of life, children. We're gonna say nice things are gonna happen, and then they don't. I don't know. I feel like this book did not accomplish what it set out to do, but obviously other people are connecting with it and enjoying it, so like, good. I didn't. I mean, if I was to put this up directly against Melissa, I would pick Melissa. Yeah. This book just feels like sadness that's like, I don't know, supposed to be teaching empathy, but doesn't. It felt all around weird to me when I was reading it, of like, what are you trying to do? So, that's that. I'm gonna refrain from what I would give it if it was a star rating, because just go read some of the 2 to 3 star reviews on Goodreads, and mostly that. Most of the reviews I saw, as I did in this one, referred to Grayson as he, him, and I'm acknowledging in a way that I'm doing it that it was what was used in the book, but other people are seemingly not doing it that way, which is why I feel like the book didn't actually accomplish what it's trying to do, right? I mean, using she once in the acknowledgements. Like, I'm a person who reads the acknowledgements. Most people I don't think read acknowledgements, right? Like, it just kind of didn't come together for me. It was at times too simple and just like straight and forward, and other times it was just like really beautiful language, and it just like couldn't marry it all together, and it just, yeah, it didn't work out for me. I'm happy to have read it. I am happy to take recommendations from viewers. But yeah, altogether for me, not such a fan of this one. Might try to find a little free library to put it in. Because this town sucks. But yeah, that's that. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you around next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and drop those recommendations.